Please read the disclaimer before doing anything and watching this video. Okay, Namaskar, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. And in this video, we are going to discuss about the Israel war and how this war is going to actually do something to the markets. Actually, it is not going to do something into the markets because if we see the Israel war, okay, and the history of Israel and the geopolitical situations right now with Israel, the terrorist attack by the Hamas is not going to actually do any kind of it's not going to actually create some kind of problems for the Israel and the world markets. Okay, we can see the Israel markets are down by 6%. The benchmark index of Israel is actually down by 6%, but the problem doesn't actually not. It's actually not that big because it was an expected attack from the Hamas. Okay, so the Israelis were shocked because they were not actually. They didn't actually knew about the intensity and the timings that they will be just these terrorists will come in an outburst, but that outburst didn't actually happen. Okay, so the Israel war is not going to actually affect the markets as if we see the market situation right now. If we only see the indexes in India, if we see the Nifty 50, so Nifty 50 is not going to actually do something really well. Okay, since the 3 hours time frame, 200 EMA was been stuck only once. And if it has been stuck only once, then it has to go twice or thrice. So today is Monday, and the markets are already on. And if we see the time, it's already 9:35 a.m. and it's 9th of October 2023. The attack happened in Israel at 7th October 2023 in the morning. Approximately, we see the Indian time is about 5:20 a.m. So right now, if we see the markets, let's see the Nifty 50. Okay. So what Nifty 50 has actually done was really expected because of this war kind scenario. If we see the markets, okay, just a second, I actually didn't change my screen. Okay, now the screen is right. So if we see the Nifty 50 right now, it's actually coming back to its 300 EMAs. Okay, sorry, it's 200 EMA at the 3 hours time frame. Okay, which was really expected. It was not being driven by any kind of war situation. So right now Nifty is at 19,539, and it has actually given a what we say. It has been a breakdown of Nifty, and it was a gap down opening, and it was expected because of the war situation. Right now, if we see, it's actually kind of trying itself to recover itself, but I feel it's not going to recover. It's going to actually go way deeper and actually hit this particular area, which is at actually it is 19,456, because if this kind of price pattern when this kind of price pattern actually happens, it has to hit the 200 EMA twice. So it is going to hit the 200 EMA on the 3 hours time frame. Since I was knowing about the geopolitical situations, so let's discuss about the geopolitical situations right now. So if we discuss the geopolitical situations right now in Israel, if we see the most important countries in the Islamic states, which can actually start a war in the Middle East or stop a war in the Middle East, it's the only country called as Saudi Arabia. Okay, many of the countries are in many of the countries which are in favor of Israel are some of the enemies of the Israel. So it's a kind of a very dicey situation right now. Since Saudi Arabia has been shifting its focus from radicalization to de-radicalization, so it's not going to actually come into the war. The psychological analysis says this thing. If we do the psychological analysis of the Palestinian, Iran, and the Qatar, they have been funding the Hamas from a really long time, and they were training train those people to actually launch an attack in Israel. And they have did this, but it was a really surprise attack. Even the Israelis were not having any kind of idea of this kind of things should happen. But actually, the history of Israel has repeated itself, or the, it had the same kind of scenarios actually happened just 50 years ago, where the Israelis were in a very relaxed mood and the Palestinians opened a front of war on the Israel. And right now, I'm getting some kind of news that even the Lebanon is also trying to open another front of war with Israel. So Israel right now is in a state of war and having about two front of wars. Okay, it has to tackle the Palestinians on the Gaza Strip, and on the other side, they have to counter the Lebanon for the rights of the Jerusalem. Okay, so so if you actually gain some knowledge from it, basically the main focus of this video was to give you the information about the Israel and how the Israel war is actually going to affect the markets. It's actually not going to affect the markets. So people who are been shouting on the social media that something is going to happen, something is going to happen, nothing is going to happen. Okay, the market knows all the things that are happening right now, and the market has already discounted. If we see the Nifty 50, okay, let's clear it to a certain extent. So right now, if we see the markets, okay, the markets are being crashing from about 15 September. Okay, the markets are not falling from today; they are falling from 15th of September. So if you see this kind of fall right now, then I don't think that markets are going to react on this particular war situation. Since the war, it's not a kind of war; it's a kind of terrorist attack. So nothing is going to happen here. Okay. If we see the Nifty is already recovering itself from the gap down opening, and you will see some very good stock specific movements. So please be prepared and prepare yourselves for the stock specific movements. Okay. Thank you very much. Namaskaram. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.